afternoon and welcome back once again to Comm 360. I'm Melanie and this is Hunter. This is the second episode of the year and we can't wait for you all to hear what we have for you today.
We've got a lot to talk about this episode, so let's get right into today's news roundup.
Two Shepherd University Pickett reporters, Ethan Baker and Kayla Blake, recently produced a video news story and article on the new Little Mermaid revamp, which has since gained a lot of attention on YouTube.
They've talked about the live-action trailer for the new revision Little Mermaid, which was recently released starring an African-American actress as Ariel. The trailer has since gained a lot of praise and backlash online, with the original release receiving millions of dislikes and some Twitter users angry over how Ariel was chosen to be represented.
According to The Guardian, Matt Walsh added to the controversy by stating that from a scientific perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have someone with darker skin who lives deep in the ocean. If anything, not only should the Little Mermaid be pale, she should actually be translucent.
On the other side, however, countless fans praised the new Little Mermaid trailer, happy that a minority is being represented in a children's movie, and adding that there is no right or wrong race to portray Ariel since she's a completely fictional character in the first place.
Ethan and Kayla asked Shepherd students what they thought about the new trailer and got their reactions and feedback.
Let's take a look at what they said.
This is the animated film The Little Mermaid when it was first released in 1989. Then the sequel that was released in 2000. And the 2008 prequel. And this is the new Little Mermaid, a live-action film revealed in a trailer 2 weeks ago, set to be released in 2023. According to entertainment news site Page 6, within days of the movie's debut, the trailer garnered nearly 14 million views and 626,000 likes, but also received 1.5 million thumbs downs, prompting YouTube to disable the dislikes, a number that is now up to 3 million. But just why has this trailer had such a negative reaction from so many people? Of course, virtually all Disney remakes are faced with some level of criticism from fans, but this time it's different. This time the backlash is racially motivated, and quote, transparently racist, according to Forbes. And the source of the anger? The casting of a non-white African-American actress to play the role of the mermaid. Of course, some angry Disney fans took to Twitter to express their opinions on the remake. But it was also met with many supporters who are both in favor of black representation in children's films and who recognize that there is not a set race for a completely fictional mermaid. We sat down with Shepherd University students to hear their thoughts on the new trailer and the creation of more diverse children's films.
I watched it. I thought when I originally watched it, I thought it was very good. Like, it was very well put together. The animation, the graphics, it was great. It wasn't kind of cheesy. Like, they really come a long way. People have this issue with people of color playing these like originally like white roles that were created, but the thing about these old Disney movies, so I've done a lot of research on this, people of color didn't have representation back then. And I don't know, obviously I will never know, but I know what it's like to have representation growing up and even now because, you know, everything back then was white. But I think it's really important for these, even adults, children, everybody now to see this representation because it would be hard to grow up without any of that. So I couldn't imagine. So I think it's very important to have that.
I'm very excited for it because, you know, The Little Mermaid is a classic, you know, story. So I'm excited to see how directors and producers have added their own twist to it because that's a movie that came out so long ago. So I'm excited to see it. I feel like it's important for especially young kids because they're the ones that are going to be watching these animations, and I feel like it's extremely important for them to have characters that they relate to and can look up to and enjoy.
I am quite excited for The Little Mermaid, the new one. I'm a big Disney gal, everything Disney. I'm actually planning a trip for Disney in May for my graduation, so I think having diversity and seeing that diversity at a young age will make the younger generation that we have now be even more inclusive, and it'll just teach them lessons that they might not get from their parents, if that makes sense. So like parents sometimes won't talk about inclusivity or diversity with their kids, and I think the way that film is so popular, I think that's the best way to get it addressed to the children.
We also asked students if the trailer would have faced the same level of controversy if the gender roles were swapped and Ariel was a man.
See, I still think people would have an issue if Ariel was turned to a man, but I don't think it'd be as much as an issue as much as it is right now, which is the thing that kind of, it's really irritating to see, because I've seen these arguments like, well, there's no way that someone, like a black person, could be a mermaid because this and that, and I'm like, well, mermaids don't exist. So, like, there's really no reason to argue against it other than the fact that people are just unfortunately very biased. But yeah, no, I don't think it'd be as big as a controversy if Ariel was a man.
I believe any changes to any classic films are going to be an uproar. So I do believe it will be an uproar for a lot of different communities, but not in my personal community. But yeah, I think it will be an uproar, and I think it's going to be something that people are going to have to start getting used to, because I feel like with the changes, and especially like in new day and age, I feel like there are going to be a lot of changes to try to make classic films and TV shows and different animations that are more relatable for everybody, and whether that be characters of different diversities or different orientations. So I think there's always going to be an uproar when it comes to that, because of people who are used to what we have.
No, I don't think it would be. There's always the stereotype, I feel like, when it comes to women and men in film, and men are more accepted, if that makes sense, than women in film. And I feel like that's how it's been for a long time. So I feel like the controversy of the whole trailer revolving around it wouldn't be as huge.
In the end, despite the trailer's mixed reviews overall, the new Ariel is here to stay, representing another step forward in minority representation in the film industry. Reporting for the Picket of Shepherd University, I'm Ethan Baker.
Here to give us an update on the season so far is none other than Gerald and Kevin.
What's up?
Hey, welcome.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here.
Fantastic.
I've heard a lot about y'all's show. I'm really excited to be on this show. It's my dream.
That's great. Well, we have a couple of questions for you. Okay. I think everybody's wanting to know, in this last game, were there any memorable moments?
Oh, man. I'm glad you asked that. So, in the game that just happened, we had a military appreciation week, which is, appreciating our military and, what they all do for our country. So we had U.S. aircrafts flying over the stadium while the national anthem was singing, going on. Mm-hmm. And it was also senior day. So all of our seniors lined up, and we gave them their flowers. Their families walked them onto the field. It was a really nice gesture because, they've been here for however long they've been here, and they've helped this team get to where we are, undefeated. So It was a great team effort, and that was probably the most memorable for me. Was just the military, the aircraft flying over the game, and just celebrating our seniors before the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Kev said, military aircrafts and just the whole atmosphere in itself. Mm-hmm. Offensively and defensively, Shepherd University had an amazing game as they won 55-10. Just listening to that's a crazy score. The offense did amazing. It was just a great experience all around.
It speaks for itself, truly.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's always a good feeling to win a game, especially by that much. So
Yeah. So shout out to those guys.
shout out.
Well, we have a couple of other questions for you.
So, who, in your opinion, is your most formidable opponent?
Kutztown.
Yeah, Kutztown. Man,
42.
I feel like it's been a long season.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been like 2 years ago. So at the beginning of the season, we played Kutztown University. They're in Pennsylvania, like 2.5 hours away. They are by far the most formidable opponent we faced because we definitely almost lost a couple times that game.
42-35.
Yeah, it was yeah. And we also beat them the year before this game to win the regional championship. In that game, we won by Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So this game that we came up, we won by I don't even know. I can't even explain how we won. Like it was
Game
Tyson Bajan threw it deep.
Marlon Cook.
Marlon caught the ball. It really should have been a deflected pass, but he I don't know. It was a miracle, I could say, but
Yeah.
But that was definitely the most hard hitting, physical game that we played all year. So
sure.
it was a fun game too. It's always fun, to play those hard, challenging games, but at the same time, it's not fun because you don't want to lose. So,
Right.
So yeah.
Do you think that this adversity is behind you, or do you have tough hitting opponents coming up?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Now, we're rolling into the playoffs now. It's getting crunch time. So we're getting to that point of the season where if we don't win a game, we're done for the rest of the season. So
Right.
it's either win or go home. So it's like
And the teams are only going to get better.
yeah, they're only
Right.
going to get better from here on out. So we have one more final season game against East Stroudsburg coming up this week. It's away. They're a solid team themselves, but we're gonna handle business as usual. So after this, we clinched the playoff berth. So we clinched a conference championship spot. So after this game, we're in the conference championship playing a PSAC team from the West. So either IUP, Gannon, or Slippery Rock, or one of those teams. So yeah, it's gonna comp only continues from here. So. Yeah.
Well, with that, how many games are left in this season? You said you have the championship conference, and of course you guys are in playoffs. But how many do you guys think you have?
Well,
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
If everything plays out well, so if we make it all the way to the national championship, we're not going home until December 17th.
Yeah, that's
so we have like one more regular season game,
Right.
Which is this week, and then after that it's playoffs. So if we make it all the way, we got first round, second round, regionals, semifinals, and then championship. So yeah, we're going to be here for a while if everything plays out all right. So
it's fine. Okay.
yeah, so we gotta buckle down and guys are hurt. They're injured and tired, fatigue, muscle fatigue is starting to play effect. So we're just gonna keep on grinding and get that ring.
Well, our Rams are wishing you the best.
And I appreciate it.
Once again, we really appreciate your willingness to come in and speak with us.
No problem.
And look forward to hearing more from you and the Rams football team coming up later in the season. Thank you, everybody.
Ram Nation, baby.
As always, our final segment of today's show is Department News. The latest news of the Comm department, that is.
And now for this episode's department headline. Last week, we brought up the senior capstone preparation class and how students were preparing and researching for their final projects before graduation. Well, rumor has it that a news story on the capstone program is soon to be released from the picket, so keep your eyes and ears out for that.
I'd love to know what project each of the students has decided to create and what stage they're at in the creative process.
We might have to get one of them in the studio next week to fill us in.
Good idea. You don't want to miss that, folks. Well, that's all for this episode, folks.
We hope you enjoyed listening, because we certainly had a lot of fun putting on the show for you all.
Tune in next time for our third episode of Shepherd News. Reporting for the Ram News Report, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Hunter Hayward, signing out.
Thank you.